Yo, what is up, everybody? Episode, I don't know. I forgot actually. At this point, there's so many coming out. So you're just watching it right now, and that's cool. So thank you. The Ambitious Writers Podcast. That's all you got to know. Don't worry about the episode. It's about what we're capturing right here in this moment. So speaking about the moment, I have my guest here, Mitchell Captures Moments. So,
welcome everybody. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm truly grateful for that, for giving me the opportunity. This guy right here, I've known since he was in high school, and for his age, is actually quite impressive for what he's doing right now. He's a hustler. He has his vision. He's got his mind straight on what he wants to achieve, and it's actually pretty awesome. So,
thank you.
I'm actually pretty grateful for you putting me on.
That's
here.
very
Thank
humble.
You.
I appreciate that.
Of course,
it's like I've said this like so many times already. I've just only started out, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I just want to have a conversation with some cool people, some local talent, and some also interests that I have of myself. You know, first responders, of course. That was like one of the main things. But just be in this moment here and have this conversation with you is really cool. I appreciate that. Wow.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to be here, and I really mean that. You know, I since you were young, you used to always ask questions. You know, like how can I be successful, and what do I need to do? And you asked the right questions, so I always knew that you were headed in the right direction. And so far, you're doing amazing. So I can't wait to see what this podcast can bring.
Right on.
You know,
that's
so
awesome.
let's get it, man. Let's get it rolling.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Just tell me again and tell everybody just how old you are, what you're doing with that Mitchell Captures Moments, kind of what it means. And just go back a little bit and go into like how you got into what you're doing, or like some steps you've taken to kind of.
Oh, there's a lot of steps. I will say that.
Yeah, just dive in.
Yeah. Well, first off, you know, give me a follow. Mitchell Captures Moments on my Instagram. Make sure you give this a follow right now.
Subscribe.
Right now. He'll put a link on there.
Just hit that like button, subscribe, comment, show some love. It's gonna be great.
Yes, thank you. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's go. Cheers. Water and coffee. As you get older, you have to start drinking coffee. So I'm sure all you old folks know out there. But anyways, so I just started my photography business about 4 months ago.
Good.
I've always had an interest in doing photography. Since I was a kid, you know, I've always captured moments. That's why I named it Mitchell's Captured Moments. When my cousins first started playing football and basketball, my grandpa gave me a video recorder. And it was one of those giant ones from like the 1990s. And it was a fun time. And so that's what really got me interested, that spark when I was young. I didn't realize that now I would be getting into it, which is really cool. So, whoa, that sounds good. I didn't know my voice sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everything all taken care of.
No, off plot, but when I was younger, a lot of people used to tell me you should be, you know, doing broadcasts, you know, because of my voice, and I could kind of see why they say that.
Broadcasting is really fun.
Yeah.
Well, just like being in front of the microphone is really fun. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, this is cool. Like
it
speaking in front
nice.
of this little thing, it's like I can spit some bars right now. You know,
right? You don't want me spitting bars.
you feel like a little bit of power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to give me that ego. Just kidding. But anyways, so
can you spit some bars?
I mean, my college days I could.
Oh, so could you like still like?
Not at all. Not at all. I can rhyme bad with hat, and that's pretty much how far I'll go. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so it started then, and then I just had this desire to want to get into that business. I've always loved seeing landscape photography, seeing portraits photography, and that's the direction that I've been heading. And I'm also doing videography. Yeah, this kid that I've been recording, his name's Maurice Austin. Shout out to Mo Austin. This kid's a beast. He's from South High School as a junior. I've been following him the last couple games.
Mo?
Yeah, Mo. and he's been going off. This kid's raw talent.
Is junior or senior?
He's a junior.
Junior
Yeah,
wrestler.
Basketball player.
Basketball, b-ball. Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see who he is, just check out my Instagram. And you'll see a couple of his videos that I've made for him. So it's definitely the future that I'm trying to pursue. Making highlight reels, and I've always played sports, so I love doing it. Yeah.
I saw that. I saw you took a picture of Guardian of the Gods.
Yeah.
With Pikes Peak in the background.
Dude, it was amazing.
Squeak on that a little bit. What were you doing that day?
I was actually off that day, so I got up really early. I got there 20 minutes before the sunrise, and that's
was
when
it intentional? You drove up there on purpose?
Yeah, it was planned out.
Beautiful.
I drove up the day before to find the spot, and I found it, and I grabbed my tripod. I brought this camera, my 24 to 70 millimeter lens, so I could get that wide angle view. And so for landscape photography, it's very complex because you have to take more than one photo, because it can't just be one shot, because other things will be out of focus, right? You have to photo stack. That's what they call it. And so you have to take more than one photo, and you have to focus on different points in the photo so they can all be in focus. So as you can see in the photo, everything was very sharp, intact. You don't lose any out of focus. You don't lose any resolution.
Is that from the camera or you're editing?
That's the process of so the development is knowing where to take your photo, and then me focus tracking on each single part of the image that I want to come out. And then post development is when I add in the colors, the HDR colors, landscape colors in particular. I wanted to make it look as if how you saw it from my point of view, which is really cool. That's what I love about photography. It's very subjective. There's no wrong way to do it. It just you go out there and you take action. So
that's how I feel too.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I like it. I've always been a go-getter. When I was doing my fitness training, I've always been a go-getter, wanted to help people, and now it's a different goal and direction that I've been wanting to head, because I love capturing moments. I love capturing people's emotions,
and going real good for you so far too.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's been a process, and it's definitely a very humbling process. I didn't know how much you had to put into it. I thought it was very simple. You take a photo, you kind of look at the angle, but no, there's lighting, there's composition.
Yeah, once you dive all into it, it gets like you get lost in like just your own little feeling, and it's art.
It is art. It is art, and
it's I know what you're talking about. I like that.
Yeah,
I have the same feeling when I do my own process,
for sure,
because I just started doing everything, you know what I'm saying, and I use Lightroom. Everybody's been using Lightroom. Do you use Lightroom?
I use Lightroom and Photoshop.
And what do you use Photoshop for?
So it just depends on the project. Photoshop is very dynamic. Lightroom, I love it, but Photoshop, it seems like everything you can do is unlimited. But when I first got into photography, I actually linked up with Armando Chavez. He used to go to Dolores Huerta and CCA as well. Yeah.
I've followed him for a little bit.
Yeah, he's great. A shout out to Armando Chavez.
Yeah, I want to get him on. So, dude, I know I get lost. Yeah, shout out to Armando. I'm gonna get you on.
Yeah, come join, bro.
Come join.
Next time,
it's gonna happen.
Next time we get on, he'll get on with me. Yeah, I'll ask him.
I asked David too. I was like, "Hey, man," but he was like really humble. I want to do a solo, because there's a lot that's actually going behind with this whole podcast thing, and my own journey and process with everything else in life involved, and with it, of course. Anyways, I like doing solo. I get lost. See, I like doing solo interviews, or just interviews in general, because they're just real down and personal, and I like that. I
Yeah,
want to expand.
you talk about a down and personal guy, down to earth guy. That's Armando.
Yeah,
For sure. Him and I have sat down one to one just like this at Starbucks, and we chatted, about the photography business and whatnot. So he helped me get to that next level because he's very intelligent with
he
it.
is. He's a good. He's
Yeah,
great.
He's great. Oh,
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
great.
He's one of the best in Pueblo.
Yeah, top. Yeah.
So shout out to Armando Chavez.
Shout out, Mondo.
Yes.
Come on.
So
Get on here. Get on here. Come get on here, Armando. Anyways, go ahead.
yeah, and so that's one thing about photography is it's very humbling. I've been very humbled because I didn't know a lot. I had to and humble myself and say, you know what, you need to really ask those deep questions like, what does it take to be a great photographer? What is the work that you need to put in order to be where you want to be? And so I ask a lot of questions. I do a lot of research all the time. I work at my daily work, but once I'm off, I legit put about 2 to 3 hours a day at studying what needs to be done, how it could be done. There's so many amazing photographers, videographers out there that are inspiring, that know so much knowledge and information, that I'm just trying to be humble and open myself to it, and see what I can learn from my own craft. And so it's been an amazing, humbling experience. And that's one thing that I recommend for some people who are trying to grow their own business, who are trying to pursue a goal. You have to be humble. Like you can't. I mean, you do have to have a sense of pride, but at some point you have to drop your ego and say, what can I learn? Maybe I'm not the best, but how can I get there? So those are some of the challenges that I've been going through myself in my own journey. Like, how can I get to this point? On my journey, what are some of the objectives that I can get in order to move forward? So that's where I'm at right now.
Good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about it, but I really try to keep it simple.
Keep it simple. That's right. Let's bring it back a little bit. Where did Mitchell go to school at? High school.
I went to high school, Dolores Huerta, and it was an awesome experience. I went to early college program, which is really cool. Saved some money. And
early college? So
yeah, at PCC, Pueblo Community College.
What did you go for?
So when I went to college for kinesiology, which is the study of the human body.
Okay.
So in that pursuit of that, I also was able to receive my fitness training license, which is cool because when I watched your last podcast, you were with Nick, and I saw that he's trying to be a strength and conditioning coach. And shout out to Nick.
Nicholas.
He's a very knowledgeable guy. For his age, I was actually quite impressed.
I know.
As I'm always about the fitness and health industry, and I'm really happy that knowing that he's going to be upcoming and helping others be healthy, which is really important.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
cool.
I loved what he was saying, and I definitely because I know that Mario was helping him wrestle when he was helping Coach Satino, my brother, by the way. And I remember seeing Nick, and I was thinking, this dude's strong, and
yeah, it's crazy how fitness, just the whole, it all relates to each other. And it's so small, too.
Right?
Nicholas, and I met Nicholas and your brother, too, Mario.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how I met your brother and you, is because your brother wrestled, and I got into wrestling, and then...
I remember running the fitness groups for you guys.
Yeah, and then we were just he was one of the assistant coaches too. It was not only wrestling, it was just he was a teacher in general. And then you got involved too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember helping out the kids wrestle, or with strength and conditioning. Yeah. Well, I remember putting y'all to work. And then I would join in sometimes just to, show them there's levels, and I wanted to push you guys.
Yeah.
To show you you could do anything. You really can. So
there are levels. Yeah.
There are levels.
Nick's a strong dude. Yeah.
He is a strong dude. I can see that.
Mario's a strong dude.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a strong dude too.
I appreciate that.
Anyways, yeah. So Dolores Huerta.
Yes. So Dolores Huerta. After that, I went to Adams State University. Mario went there as well. Got a great scholarship for wrestling.
You
I
guys
just
got scholarships, both of you.
he got it for wrestling. I actually
Were
just
you guys
walked.
smart? Were you guys smart? Pretty smart in school.
Not so smart.
No?
You know, I
Not so
really
smart?
wish I was.
Athletic?
But athletic, always decent.
Yeah.
You know,
Would you-
I did play
decent as
baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Anything
played
else?
baseball for a year. What was that?
Anything else?
As far as like just
You didn't,
hobbies or
wrestle
anything?
either?
no, I didn't wrestle.
Oh, just baseball?
Yeah,
for
just
you?
baseball only. I did like triathlon for a little bit, which is pretty crazy experience because you're literally pushing yourself for a long period of time.
When
and
was this?
this was maybe my sophomore year in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
dude, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Like humbling as well. Like,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, we had to,
Triathlon. What?
dude, it was crazy.
How is that different from like a marathon and like a?
So triathlon is
Ultrathon.
you bike, swim, and you run, and you're literally pushing yourself every single event.
How many
So,
miles? 12.
It just depends. There's different events. Like there was one that I did. It was 10 miles. The biking was 30, and the swimming was like a mile and a half, I think. And it was hard,
Yeah.
you know, because
Of
I'm
course.
like I have a lot of muscle, like upper body, so like I sink, you know, like it's hard for me to tread water. So I had to learn how to be water dynamic, you know. So, but it was definitely a cool experience. Like the coach that I had, he was like a 6-time national champion in cross country and track. So the guy, he was from Europe and he was amazing, you know, and he had the times to go to the Olympics. So he taught me a lot about how to use your aerobic capacity. I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to like strength and power, how to build it. But with the aerobics, it's challenging, you know, because everybody has different muscle types. You know, there's type 1, type 2 muscle groups, and depending on your genetics, you know, and you could develop it as you program yourself into different exercises, you know. So that was really interesting to see how my body works, you know, and it was hard mentally for sure. That was the most important one, was how to mentally push yourself.
Yeah.
When you didn't want to, you know. We were in Almosa, so we were running in like -5 degree weather, and the snow was like a couple feet high, and we're still running, you know. So that taught me a lot, like that anything is possible. Like don't give yourself any barriers. You could do anything, but you yourself, your mind, your soul had to push. If you don't do that, and if you keep making excuses, playing that victim, you're never going to get where you want to be, you know. So that's pretty much it. Like that's what I learned in college, like
That's sweet.
to be a man, you know, to push yourself as a man. And that's what I loved about college. That's when I came out a different person.
Okay. No, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, because let me tell you something. I've been thinking a little bit about a lot lately. Actually, we should we'll get into our weeks in a second. Let me get this off my chest.
Do it, bro.
So I've been thinking about the military a little bit lately, as
Okay.
far as like special forces.
Yeah.
Because for one, I like firefighting. That's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I've thought about like my childhood dream was like to join the military. Yeah, being part of special forces and just kind of go do that cool shit they do. I
Yeah.
knew it was like physically demanding,
Yes.
of course, but
Yeah.
I knew I could push through it. But I was like, all right, I pushed that off, and firefighting.
Yeah.
Next big thing. But there's two different levels to them though. I mean, firefighting's cool, and
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I had fun, but there's levels to that as well. But both are young man's kind of job, and I'm still young, but
How old are
as
you?
far as 20,
Dude, you're young.
real young.
You're impressively young.
Thank you. I know,
On your grind.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was like that at 20, but you're on a different level right now,
Really?
which is awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Go follow this guy. Seriously, and subscribe. I can't say that
Yep. Do
enough.
both. Do both. You'll do
boom.
better doing both.
Got it right. I should turn that up. Jeez.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
That is
A little clap.
little clap. Little. I like these buttons.
Dang. Can they hear that on the podcast?
They can hear that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You, maybe you should add like a little golf clap, like after a big swing. Just
Oh, yeah. Or like a little home run swing where they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I don't know. This is something you just get from Guitar Center.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about the military lately as far as joining. But I still got a lot on my plate, that I'm already doing because I want to still pursue firefighting. But I feel if I want to do that job, I gotta get it. I know what I'm getting into. It's just like really physically and mentally demanding, and that's like where I was getting at. It's like I understand that, and like that's something I wanted to do because I feel like I can push myself to that level to,
I
perform at that like level and keep myself physically in good condition, just like mentally in good condition, but like in good shape. It's a different lifestyle, and I like that, but. I don't know, just kind of.
I believe it. I mean, and if you don't mind me chiming in, like, what's your ultimate goal? Like that should be the reason why which direction you want to head.
As far as with a career or with like
with your career, like I mean, if you want to go the firefighter route, like, or if you want to go military, like it just depends on your ultimate goal. Like if.
Well, that. I kind of want to see. I wanted to tie that in. Okay. Anyways,
that's okay, man. You're still so young, dude. You can ask all these questions.
I know. I kind of lost track of what I was saying and had to kind of get back on gear. You were talking about like how college kind of made you a man. Like it was that training for that triathlon it made you a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's a different
me.
type of I guess skill set. I don't know. It's different.
It had to be developed, and the thing about what makes you a man, what
it's
makes
like
you
manhood.
What? Yeah, I mean, what makes you a man or what makes you a woman, like, is responsibility. Like tacking on those responsibilities, like a
Discipline,
mom. Yeah, like a mom taking care of her kids. That's discipline. That's responsibility. That makes her a woman. A man, like taking care of his own and doing what he needs to do, like that's a man.
Of course the military would make a man out of, I mean, in that job field it would make a man out of me.
I mean, if you're willing.
Yeah, exactly. If you're same with firefighting, if I want to keep pursuing this and be like one of the like a hot shot or a spoke jumper for wildland or like do anything physical or like really advanced, it's still like you're gonna have to go through a lot of mental training along with physical because it's both. I've heard stories like it's not just physical. Like, dude, you're gonna have to push through that shit. It's a burning building. You're gonna get hot, sweaty. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck balls, but you're gonna have to, kind of, I don't know, push through it. Make a man out of yourself through. That's where like the man come. That's what determines the outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm still young to where it's like you're preaching like from experience. I'm preaching from like if I were to do it, I feel like
exactly. We're on two different spectrums, which is crazy.
Spectrums. I know. It's so crazy.
I mean, we're all on our own journey. Like time is a crazy thing, dude. Like the more like you work hard at something, the more you learn. Whatever goal you have set in mind. It creates perspective. Perspective is how you view life, and if you do it in a positive perspective, you're going to live a happier life. We're going to be challenged with people who say you can't do this, or we're going to be challenged with people who are skeptical, about what you do. It's the nature of it. It comes with it, and if you have a positive perspective, nothing can stop you, ever. I've learned that. And
how old are you again?
30.
30. Okay.
I just turned 30. That's the thing. So I read this book. It's by David Goggins.
Which one? His new book?
No, the old one. I'm looking to read the new one, but it's called Can't Hurt Us. And it is incredible. if anybody who wants to better themselves, who needs like a kickstart, read get David Goggins. I
David
promise
is a
you.
G.
The guy, he talks about like not being the victim. You know, like we live in a society now where we just point fingers and we blame other
Exactly.
people, and you can't be the victim. You know what I mean? Like you got to take your own responsibility. Like I remember on one of them, he talks about like looking in the mirror and being real with yourself. He's like, if you're fat, say you're fat. You know, like make that change. You know, you don't want to be diabetic and struggle the rest of your life. Like he weighed like over 300 something pounds, and he was working at a shop because he used to like spray bugs and stuff. I forgot what they call them, a bug something. But anyways, that's what he did. And one night, like a bunch of bugs fell all over him, and he was like, "I'm done. You know, I'm done doing this. Like this is not my life. Like I don't want to be this." And he ended up running as far as he could. He only made it a block. But after that, he said every single day he's going to change his life and he's going to be a better person for himself. You know, he's going to do himself justice. So, I mean, that's kind of the start of the book. I mean, there's so much good to it.
And then he joined the Navy.
And then he joined the Navy, you know, and he went through it 3 times.
I know.
And that's one of the hardest trainings in the world that you have to overcome.
It is. A lot of it has to do with like being cold. And that's what I'm like, can I be cold? I feel like, I don't know. That's where it's like, what do I want to do? I like the Army, but I like a lot about like SEALs. Like what they do. And there's 2 different kinds of kind of like operations you're going on. So, yeah, I'm still young. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, sometimes
I like both, but that career sounds real fun, and I'm kind of really considering it lately. So like, we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
sometimes what I learned, dude, is you just have to take a shot.
Just send it real quick
and see where it goes. And if it doesn't go the right direction you want it to, you can always step out and try something new. You know what I mean? Because you're so young, and that's kind of where I was at. But I always knew that I wanted.
What were you doing before photography?
I was doing fitness training.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done it for a while because I've been busy doing photography, but I'd love to get back at it. But I was doing that for 6 years.
So are you doing like photography full time now?
Well, I mean, basically, yeah, because I work at the state hospital too, so I'm also doing that. And a lot of people ask me all the time, they're like, how are you doing all this? Like, I love to live, you know, like I have goals and I want to achieve them. And I'll never stop, you know. But fitness training, I've always loved helping people. You know, I've always just knew like what it took to help somebody achieve their goals when it came to their health and fitness. And the biggest component is the accountability piece. Like, I don't think people take that into account. Like, you know, when you have a really good friend, they'll hold you accountable. You know, like a bad friend, they won't say anything. But a really good friend is going to say, hey, you're messing up right now. Like, this is not your direction you need to go. And so that's where I would come in and say, listen, we need to hit these type of workouts. You need to come at this time. You need to try to eat this. You know, like this is what it will take. That's what it'll take. And if you don't go that direction, you know, then I don't know what you're going to do. But patience too, obviously. But the grand scheme of everything is consistency. You know, if you want to be truly successful, you have to be consistent. That's the bottom line. You know, discipline and consistency.
I gotcha.
You know, but if like I'm serious, like in order to be good at anything you do, consistency. The greats all do it, and they do it when they don't want to do it. But what's crazy is when they don't want to do it, they still do a good job at it. You know, because they're focused, they're dialed in. And I think that's really important because sometimes when you don't want to do something, you may not do the best at it, you know. And the best, they do the best at it when they don't even want to do it, you know. So that's the level that I'm trying to achieve. And that's hard.
It is.
That's hard. You have to be very disciplined, you know.
We're going to reel it back a little bit.
Yes.
Because I want to get into our weeks and just kind of or your week. And yeah, how was your week, Mitchell?
My week was good.
What'd you do this week?
Let's see. I worked. I did a lot of studying, like on photography, like I was saying, and then I went up to Garden of the Gods and took those photos, which was really awesome. Which was cool because when I was there was a lady that brought her stereo, and she was just dancing to the sunrise.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought that was really neat because one of my goals was for the New Year's resolution was to be grounded in the moment. You know, and to see that, I was like, wow, like she's grounded in the moment, enjoying her life, dancing to the sunrise while seeing the beautiful view. Like, that was so cool.
Did you capture a moment?
I did, of course. I had to, man. That was,
of course, yeah.
That was history, you know.
Exactly.
It was a lesson.
I would love to see that picture.
I got you. Yeah. So I gotta look through it and do the editing process, and I'll send it.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah. How was your week?
It was good. I work in Springs. I work at a doctor's office.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got my EMT a while back ago. Well, not a while back, but back in January of last year. So, I guess, a little reunion, right? A little anniversary for that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I started working there. It's been good. And then I've been trying to kind of edit more photos as well. I took some pictures with this bad boy. Well, I've been taking some pictures with that.
Nice.
I've been trying to edit more photos with that. And stay on top of the podcast as well.
That's good.
I went shooting today. That was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I recently bought a gun, so I've been trying to kind of, play around with it, learn it, and just have fun with it. Stayed at my grandparents'.
Nice.
That was sweet. Capture some moments too with this.
Nice.
I was here for Street Champs yesterday. That was pretty sweet.
That's cool. Yeah, they're doing big things.
Celebrated the new year with that. That was pretty fun. That was it this week.
That's a good week, bro.
Thank you.
It's a solid week.
Yeah. I'm too hard on myself, I feel. Because I feel like that's not enough,
You feel guilty? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guilty.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm the hardest on myself. I'm my own worst critic, And so, that being said, you had to always look out for yourself. Make sure you're always doing the right thing. Even when no one's watching. How you take care of yourself. What you do. Those are all important. I still work on them every single day. And because I'm trying to be a stronger man and be disciplined, which is the hardest thing to do. You got all these external factors that are trying to hinder you from going where you want to go. And sometimes it comes with a sacrifice, Sometimes you have to sacrifice hanging out with friends.
That's true.
Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's your own hobbies. And that's what comes with it, So for me, I'm really trying to balance that, trying to put those hobbies in so I don't get burned out.
With everything. That's kind of where I'm trying to find too, as well with everything. That's where I'm getting guilty of everything, kind of feeling bad because I'm not putting more time into other things as I feel like I should be, but I'm putting more time into things that are kind of making me feel happy,
Yeah.
And it's how do I balance this out? So
yeah, well, we need to live. We
need to live.
We need to live and have good time with our friends and family, and
everything's all important.
Yeah, it keeps us grounded. It's hard. It really is because sometimes you become very ambitious, and you get very hyper focused. I'm speaking for myself. I get very hyper focused.
And what do you mean hyper focused?
Very in the zone to reach my goal.
Nothing's
gonna stop me. That's the mindset I have every single day. No one can stop me. And sometimes you gotta step back a little bit and say, these are my goals, but there's people that love me as well that I need to tender love, care. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge to balance it all. And like I said, it comes with discipline. The most important thing is discipline and consistency.
It is.
You could do that, bro. You could do anything. You know.
Takes
So
time too, patience.
yeah.
And
Oh,
time is the biggest
time.
thing. Time and consistency. If you're consistent with it over a certain amount of time, but time, I know, I keep thinking about that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be too hard on myself because I'm still young. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I still got time on my side in a way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't. But yeah. It's
Yeah.
just
That
part of
I get.
life.
Sometimes I get pressed with that too. You know, but time is crazy, dude. Like I said, we have to enjoy it because it goes by so
It
fast.
does, man.
Like my grandparents used to always tell me, like, trust me, life goes by fast. I'm like, I don't know what they really mean, but
Don't
as you
think
get
about it
older,
when you're younger.
yeah, as you get older, it does go by fast. I say like I'm old, I'm 30, like, but
You're still a young man.
yeah, I would hope so. I feel like I'm 18, which is cool.
Good.
But my grandparents would always tell me that, they always say like, you need to live your life because life goes by fast. And they are two people that I've role modeled growing up because they are always about community. They went to the bowling leagues and hung out with their friends and went golfing and ate healthy and exercised regularly. Like
Are you a
I
big
idolize them.
golfer? Are you a big golfer?
Oh yeah, I love golfing.
Yeah.
Golfing's hard, man.
Is it?
It's a hard transition.
Are you
for
pretty
sure.
good?
No, I wish I was good. My dad's really good. That guy golfs every day. He's very consistent, and so when we play, like, I try to be on his level, like him and his buddies. They're all retired, so I mean they kind of have a better shot than I do. But they give me a push. It's always good to be around people who push you, because you don't know what you got until like someone else comes along and they can help push you even more. You're like, wow, I didn't know that was in me.
I agree.
So yeah, like going now talking about like people in my circle, like I make sure the circle's tight. Like I was talking about my brother Mario, who is my twin. We would always push each other since we were kids, and we helped push each other since we were in college too. We work out in the morning, do our practices, and then go eat breakfast together.
That's consistent.
Yeah, every single morning. We would be the first ones there. So he was definitely a good pusher.
That's good.
He kept me accountable, and I kept him accountable. So, I think that's important to have those people in your life.
Yeah, I feel you. I
To
love
move
those
the
kind of people.
chessboard.
Exactly. That's why I like reaching out to people like you guys, meeting
Yeah.
people like you guys, because I kind of know a little collective bunch who think on this level. If I like put them all together in one room right now, and I just like shot an episode, it'd be like so wise. It'd be really wise. Everybody would be speaking their opinion, and I'm over here just like 20 years old, soaking everything up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. Sweet. But, yeah, I like to have fun too.
No, I know, dude. You always ask the right questions, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're very curious, and what I will say is curiosity is important. You want to be curious
I hope
to
it doesn't
learn.
kill the cat though.
No, definitely not. I mean, curious in the wrong way, yeah. But
You're right.
if you
Wise.
have the right goals, then you're on your way,
Exactly.
dude. Which is good. I already know you're on your way.
Thank
I mean,
you.
you're already doing this podcast at 20 years old, bro.
Thank you.
Like, who does that?
Not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people. You know,
not a lot of people that I know.
you're above the norm,
That
which
is.
is awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
That's why I was like so flattered to be on this podcast, bro.
Thank
I know you just started, but dude, it's gonna go booming, bro.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, I know so.
Oh, awesome.
I know
Sweet.
so. Just
Yeah,
keep
it's
on
like-
doing your thing,
It's like so like low key right now. Like I only have 20 subscribers.
Yeah.
And like the views.
Oh, it's
are,
gonna
like,
be more than 20. Make sure you guys give this guy a follow, okay? Give him a follow
yeah,
right now,
subscribe
please.
Right now. Whatever.
If you made it this
you're
far, you're a real one for
real,
sure.
Real OG.
Yeah,
Top of the cream of the crop right
Little
there.
golf clap.
Seriously.
clip that.
Clip that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I think you're doing really well for
Thank
yourself.
you. So how did personal training and like you said you played basketball and I mean I know you and your brother you guys had your head on your shoulders in high school, so how does all that relate to going into your work in photography? Because I know you want to eventually do this full time and kind of do that, and it's coming. You know, like I honestly thought you were doing this full time.
Yeah.
Are you making any money from it at all?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
So you're
definitely.
doing like photo shoots and
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes. I've been doing a lot of portrait shots, which I love doing. I love doing couples. I love doing families, individual portraits, like graduation photos. The next big goal is to start doing weddings. I have a wedding booked up in October, which I'm really thrilled about, and I'm super confident that I can,
Good.
take amazing photos
Yeah, I
for
feel
couples.
you. Dude,
Yeah,
that camera, beast.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate
Beast.
that.
Thank you. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so-
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, so that's where was I getting at? But yeah, that's
You're taking a photo shoot and
yeah,
a
that's
wedding.
that's what I've been doing for the past 4 months. Ever since I got my LLC,
Did you really for Mitchell Capture?
Mitchell Capture Moments LLC.
Is that
yeah.
what it's called?
Yes.
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
Yeah,
Knuckles
yes,
to that.
sir.
Fuck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another golf clap. But yeah, I pursued it because I knew it was gonna work.
Good.
I knew what it took and just taking action. I did a lot of research, but the next move, like I said, was taking action. And so I did, and I'm not going to stop. I love doing it. I love capturing moments for people and sending it to them, and I love seeing them smile and say, yeah, like, we look amazing, like,
I like the process involved in it, and just like the feeling you get of like capturing that moment. That's a great way of explaining it, because I'm just starting out, and I'm like, of course I want to like eventually like have a camera like that and be taking a picture of a wedding and making money off that and making this like a full-time kind of gig.
Yeah.
But right now it's not. But I like the process involved with everything, going
Yeah.
on. Like, this is fun, it's cool, and I like seeing like what I can do like with the whole, like how it looks and what I can do with it as far as like editing. How good can I make it look from this to this? I know this already looks good. Can I make it look better? And then you're just playing with a whole bunch of different settings in Lightroom, and it's pretty cool. And I use Premiere Pro. I use all the Adobe products for.
oh,
like,
dude,
my-
I love Adobe, dude.
editing.
Adobe is a beast, bro.
It is. It's real good. I don't have Apple, so I'm not using the Final Cut or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, I don't use Final Cut either. I use Adobe Premiere Pro,
Yeah.
which actually works really well.
It is. It's pretty sweet.
There's so many ways
awesome.
to edit, dude. It's crazy.
So many. Yeah, and
I'm
then
still learning.
You can add your own stuff. I want to start doing that, but I don't know how to do all this stuff. It's crazy. Like, I want to start like getting more in depth into it, like adding my own intro and like kind of like beats.
Yeah.
Or like moments. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
In a
and-
sense, where it's like you're just like, I want to watch this even more.
Yeah.
Like, even just to the quality.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
little
What's
details, but-
catchy? Yeah, more detail, and that's another thing that I learned about photography is the attention to detail. Like, if you can see the fine, small details, you're gonna
What?
win.
Details and what?
I'm talking.
talking about
I'm talking
detail?
color. I'm talking composition,
What are you
foreground,
looking at
background.
detail? Like, when you say detail, are you looking through the lens? Like, all right, or are you as far as like the editing process?
Everything. I'm talking the whole process from pre to post. Obviously, like when you first say I'm going to do a portrait shot, I'm looking at the client's goal. What do they want out of this photo? How do they want it to look? I think that's most important. Making your client feel comfortable enough to feel, empowered, in their own skin, which is really important, because then you get the true self out of them. And that's amazing. You get them to laugh, you get them to smile, and just be themselves, them genuine selves. That the genuine soul, like you really see it thrive out of the photo. And to me, that's amazing. And then obviously like the post process, there's like a trash can in the back, you take it out, stuff like that. You want to make sure that this photo looks amazing, like it's exactly what they wanted. So there's a lot to it,
I do know what you mean. Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
like what I was thinking too. Like, I'm like, since I'm young, it's not that I don't care, but I'm like just like taking pictures of anything, everything that I see is like interesting to my eye.
Well,
And-
you just appreciate life. That's what you're
and
saying.
people are like, that's exactly what I'm saying right there. And
You know?
I've had some people be like, well, I had one person But anyways, they're a little salty, a little butt hurt. And then I mean I should have asked them like, hey, can I take some, snap some moments real quick, take some flicks, but they still came out fire. It was good.
That's cool. Yeah.
But, I like it. I'm just like engaged in the moment. Yeah, I'm just
exactly. You get to capture that moment that you're living in.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why you want to capture everything,
Exactly.
I get like that all the time. I'm like, oh man, I wish I had my camera.
For
Missed
real.
opportunity.
I know. That's why I like bring this with me everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I started to. I'm starting. Well, yeah, I've been bringing this with me pretty much everywhere. And like I want to kind of like branch out. I haven't been capturing as many moments this week. I reflected on that. I haven't captured as many pictures as I wanted to. I was at my grandparents and I should have like took more pictures of my grandparents, and my nephew was there, and just like family photos. And like you never know where that shit may go. They're gonna be looking at that because family's always supportive.
Yeah.
But still, they could look at that, word of mouth to another one, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So you take photos, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I've been like taking some photos."
Yeah.
And it's like
That
boom.
dude, that's the biggest thing is word of mouth, bro.
It is. It's
I
very
haven't
important.
really advertised any of my photography. Period.
People just know you from this.
People just know me
prestige.
from that, and
Lord
they see the
Puerta.
work that I've been doing. Yeah, I just been posting on Facebook and Instagram, and they've been seeing it. And they're like, hey, can we do a photo shoot? Yeah, let's do it. That's kind of how the process has been going as far as the marketing component.
So you haven't been doing any like marketing outside of word of mouth.
No, outside of word of mouth, that's
So
it.
you're not involved with like social media or like, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, like obviously I'll
Instagram.
post on my social media pages, but I won't
You haven't
advertise
taken
it.
to the next level yet.
Not
with that
yet.
Seriousness. Okay.
No, and
that's where it kind of comes in, but it comes with money
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the reason why I did it because I wanted to be ready.
Yeah.
I wanted to take those steps and make sure that I'm providing my client the best service that I can offer.
Mm-hmm.
The best quality service for sure. And I'm starting to get there. Like literally like
Little steps.
Every
Baby
single
steps,
week
yep,
I
every
feel
week.
myself going like this. You know what I mean?
I
Like
see it.
from when I first started to now it's booming.
Booming.
Yeah.
Take
so
it off to the,
I know.
the moon right
Right?
there. Mars. Where's the moon?
Even
I don't
farther,
know.
bro.
Even farther. Seriously. Where's the stars? I don't know.
Bro,
I don't
space
see
is infinite.
stars.
Space is infinite.
We got galaxies and I don't.
We got trillions, bro.
That's for another episode.
That's for another.
Seriously.
We could talk literally black holes and
We could.
galaxies. Dude.
Really, we could. Holy shit! More like you. Have you studied black holes?
Oh, I try to. It's very complicated.
Are you
dude.
pretty like knowledgeable as far as like science and
I
stuff
just
like that? What do you know about the third eye?
The third eye is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
The third eye is crazy. You have to be willing to submerge yourself into it. You got to be curious mindset. But as far as I know about the black hole, I know that space is a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like it's like this. Like Albert Einstein said that gravity is gravitational waves. They actually said that it's true. And
What does that mean?
So
Break it down for me,
so
if you can.
gravity is really interesting. A lot of people say like, why don't we live in space? And the reason why we don't, I mean, astronauts do, but for a short amount of time, because when they're out in space, there's no gravity. So what happens is the spine doesn't get resistance from gravity, so you actually get taller. You actually grow a couple more inches.
Really? Oh, that's true.
You
I
know?
can see that. Don't even mind me. Keep going with your story.
Your thing. Yeah, you actually grow a couple inches, bro, which is crazy.
I can see that because there's no gravity. You know what I'm saying? You're just like weightless in it.
You're weightless. Yeah.
So you just like it naturally, like your body naturally kind of aligns.
Yeah. Well, and that's why they exercise every day because gravity has a lot to do with like how the heart rate flows too. With the blood, which is really important. So, and that's pretty interesting itself. Space and time is crazy. But anyways, with the black hole, like what happens is like the Earth, it sits on the vacuum of space, so it kind of shifts down, right? And the sun brings it down even farther. It's like a giant dip. The black hole itself is so interesting that it shoots down all the way down in the vacuum, and it creates a hole in space. It rips through the fabric of space. And so when that happens, no one knows what's behind it. No one knows if it goes to another alternate universe or whatnot. We will never know. Not even light can escape it, which is crazy. Light is so fast, bro. If you start right here, and if I were to travel across the world, I can travel across the world 7 times in 1 second. That's how fast light is. Not even light can escape it.
What's does it go? We have our solar system, then the galaxy, or is that the Milky Way first and then the galaxy? Which one is it?
So it's our solar system, right? Which we haven't even explored outside of our solar system, which is crazy. And then it's our galaxy, which is the Andromeda galaxy. That's the galaxy that we're in. So every galaxy is revolved around a black hole. A black hole is in the center of a galaxy, right? We're rotating around it, which is insane. And there's trillions of galaxies. So it's just trillions, not billions, trillions.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy.
We're not the only life form.
No, I mean, you would think that we wouldn't be, but Earth is so special because we are at the right homeostasis, which is...
What does that mean, homeostasis?
Which is the right equilibrium to live, like balance, like the right temperature. We're the only
galaxy, and that's like, it's, if you play like a numbers game, like...
And a planet has to revolve around a star, just like we do at the right projection.
I'm sure like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4 is like a living planet once in like one solar system.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't really know the numbers.
I know.
We just know that we're so lucky.
You think it's like, I know there's life forms out there, exactly, because we don't know. I feel like that's just how it is. Nobody wants us to know. For one, I'm just gonna expose it real quick, or get it off my chest. Okay. Yeah. And 2, I feel like aliens are like, they know about Earth, and they're just like, guys, all right, I'm warning you, Earth is off limits, and if you do decide to go there, just know, hey, you're in for a treat. If you make it out of there alive, good for you. If you don't, here are the consequences. And they just kind of like teach them growing up, maybe, I don't know. And then there's some alien, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Because if they do, imagine, I mean, we see aliens, we're like, oh snap. And then Area 51 is just, it's like so like hush hush and classified.
Yeah.
So like if an alien were to crash, as far as like Roswell and all the other ones, who knows what they're doing at Area 51, they don't want us to know, because we'll be like, I don't know, we'll be more curious, you know. They want to know. They're probably like cutting this guy open, or like seeing what's going on. I don't know, maybe. You know?
Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows, dude? I personally don't think aliens have ever visited Earth, but I could be wrong. You know, I do know that.
Do you think they pass by?
I don't even know. We have amazing technology to see what passes by. You know, for me, I think...
I feel like we have technology to go into space too, right? Do you think?
Yeah, we do. I mean, if you look at what Elon Musk is doing, he's doing something extraordinary. He's trying to go to Mars. You know, he's trying to create a habitat. You know, he's trying to nuke Mars to create lots of carbon dioxide to get it warm. You know, but I don't know. Who knows if aliens are real or not? I mean, for sure, like, what I will say is there's got to be an Earth-like planet that revolves around a star, like the sun. You know, that
the sun is just so great too. You know,
the sun
it lights up the whole solar system.
Right? Yeah.
Sunrise, sunset. But if you go near that sun, you're dead. Or if you look at it for a certain amount of time.
Well, that's the beauty of Earth.
That's the beauty of life.
You know, the Earth has an atmosphere that blocks out the photons.
That's the beauty of Earth.
The too much photons will burn us up. You know, so the Earth is looking out for us, bro.
Skin cancer.
Yeah, I mean, lots of things. I mean,
lots of things. Sunburn.
It can dry out all the water.
Yep.
You know, we're 90% water plus. which is crazy. So it's pretty extraordinary if you think about it.
It is extraordinary. It is. I agree. So how does sports and baseball and personal training relate to like your photography business?
I think attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know, like in baseball, I
I
learned.
would have thought like time management and as far as like your mindset, like you're saying too, because you did work hard. Like I've seen you like you're you're a different kind of personal trainer. There's different personal trainers for different things. Like Nick's, he likes powerlifting. And I know like Jordan Tripp over at Achieve.
Oh, he's a great guy too. Yeah.
And you're just like you like to stay fit. So there's different things, but
everyone has different goals.
Exactly.
You know.
But how does that relate to like your like you did touch on it, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, in baseball, like I learned how to be disciplined, like how to be attention to detail. You know what I mean? Like what kind of pitch is being thrown to you? Like how are you going to play this type of defense? Like what about your reaction time? All this played a huge factor into being disciplined, and we did it on a consistent basis. You know, when you're playing any sport or you're doing anything that you want to be successful at, you have to do a lot of consistent work, which could be somewhat like tiresome, you know, because you're constantly doing the same repetitions. You know what I mean? Same reps. And so I learned that and I carried that over into photography. You know, like I'm doing the same repetitions, and they may not be like extraordinary repetitions, but they're the right direct repetitions, you know. And if I could do that on a consistent basis, then I'll win, you know, in my eyes. So that's how I carried that over. And with fitness training, like it's about being consistent, training your clients, you know, making sure you're booking them at the right time, making sure that you're getting them in, making sure that you're constantly giving your all energy to them so that way they can try to hit their goals. You know, it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of consistency, like I go back to every single time. And that's kind of how I geared that all and put it towards photography. You know, the work was there. It's just the knowledge of photography world I didn't really know. And so that kept me very curious. And like I said, I went to Armando Chavez, and even another guy, his name's David Tookit. That guy he's really good too. And he does Sony.
Yeah, I like David. David's a cool guy.
Oh,
I'm trying to get
awesome,
him on.
dude.
David, yeah, shout out to David too.
Dave, you're awesome, bro. Thank you for helping me out too, dude. You're a very knowledgeable guy, dude. Down there, knowledgeable guy. We gotta fly some drones soon, so let's do it. So clip that. We're clipping that part right there.
We're clipping that.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot we could say, but like I said, I try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, baseline.
No, that's good. I agree. Simple's good. Simple's good. Yeah. So hold on. Let me just think real quick.
You're good. We're running through a lot, man. We're sprinting right now.
But it feels like, dude, it was just an hour.
Dang, it's already 6:15. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Just an hour.
Wow,
Past. I know,
that's solid.
Feels like a time, feels like forever, honestly. But it's only like an hour. Feels like we've been going on for like or like maybe like not even that long. I don't know. It's been a good
time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Yeah, it is. We're still gonna keep going because there's still a lot more I was thinking of. So I know you probably want to make this like a hustle, right? Like full time.
Oh, definitely. I've always been a hustler, you know, always. But definitely, like, I want to make it full time.
What do you mean you always have been a hustler? So have you been like hustling some things outside of your 9 to 5?
I've always just pushed like only in fitness training. Okay. You know, I've always I've had a goal to wanting to help people grow in their health and wellness, and I figure why not get paid for it? You know, it's just a double whammy. Double whammy. So I've always done that, and it's been quite incredible. I met a lot of incredible people through that process.
So that's how you paid your bills?
Yeah, that's how I did that. Yeah, and I've also worked at the hospital. You know, they have amazing benefits. You know, So it's a win-win. You know, it helps me invest in my own business too. So
How long have you been working at the state
I've been
hospital
there for
for?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been fun. You know, it's been a lot of fun experience and a lot of learning too. So I'm constantly learning everywhere I go.
Like the state hospital where, like, just jump into that real quick. How's that been? Working
Yeah,
there?
it's really interesting. You
Yeah?
know, like
How so?
I work with a lot of mental health patients
Yeah, how's
who,
Some people,
well,
some
there's
people some people, what am I getting at?
well,
They
there's
think about it differently. They take certain situation. I don't know. Just
yeah,
speak on it.
well,
Real quick.
it's not a lot of people, you know, in the general public understand how to deal with someone who has mental illness. You know, you actually see a lot of them that are homeless, and we truly don't know like what the solution is to help homeless people. You know, give them money. I try to, whenever I see them, I try to provide food, whatnot, like whatever I have, I say here, you know, but they need more than that. You know, like a lot of the people who have mental disabilities need assistance, you know, and some need medications, and who are schizophrenic and manic bipolar disorder. Like that's a different population that not a lot of people are aware of. And it's really tough to deal with them sometimes, you know, and you try to be there for them and try to help guide them in the right direction and get them on the right track. That right there is something we could talk about for another podcast for over
How
2
so?
hours, because everybody's different,
Yeah.
you know.
So what do you mean everybody's different? Like, have you seen like people take things differently?
Yeah, of course, everybody has different.
Because I see you as far as like point of view, obviously you have a different point of view of working there, and other people have a different point of view working there. So you're gonna take things pretty chill, pretty lax,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And the other people are probably gonna shit, bitch, you know, obviously.
Yeah, I've always.
What have you seen as far as
Well, for me, I
negativity?
always try to be calm in every situation. No matter what situation is, if you're calm, you try to make the best decisions, you know. But what I will say is the reason why every person's different, because everyone has a different psyche, you know. Like one of the biggest things, which is terrible, that the patients experience is trauma and neglect. You know, having those two combinations is not really a good combination. You know, when they experience trauma, you know, seeing their parents like do drugs, you know, when they're 4 years old, they're seeing the needle go in their arm with cocaine or heroin, whatever. You know, that's trauma, you know, and they don't know how to deal with that. They're so innocent and young. It's terrible, you know, and then you got neglect, you know, no one really loved them, you know, so you feel bad, you have
You're
sympathy.
right. You're right.
And we don't realize how blessed we are, you know, to have people around us, to have support, financial support. And it's so unfortunate, man. These people do not have that, you know, and there are others that choose to make that decision, you know, and choose the route to do drugs and to be addicted to alcohol. Like, it's terrible. Addiction is terrible, bro. You know, and I see it all the time, you know, and they're good people. They just don't know how to work with their psyche. You know, it's unfortunate.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah. So
That is a whole other podcast.
that's what I'm saying, dude. It's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Almost shedding a tear here real quick, you know.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to that.
Yeah,
I can
man.
relate to that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to go back to like your business point
Yep.
of view. How do you feel about like competitors? Like you were saying, like
I love it, bro.
yeah,
I love it. It only makes me better.
and Armando, and yeah.
Yeah,
Have
as
you
you
heard
can
of
see, like Armando and David, they're amazing photographers, and we all chime in with each other. You know, like I ask them questions. You know, like when we push each other. You know, and
That is true. I do ask them questions. Too.
They're not like enemies.
They're pretty open to.
You know, they're very open and receptive.
Sweet.
And yeah, we're all trying to better each other. You know, like they've been in the game longer than I have, and we're all on our own paths. You can't compare yourself to other people. You know, when I was younger, I used to do that all the time. Like, why am I not like at this level? You know, you don't want to do that. That's not a good path to go. You need to compare yourself to yourself, you know, and see what you could work on, the pros and the cons of how you can go that direction. You know, where do you want to go? But yeah, in that business realm, I'm just looking for myself. You know, I ask questions to be humble, you know, to figure out how can I do this, or, you know, these pieces of technology are so complicated and complex that there's so much you could do. You just got to figure out how to do it, you know, the right way. That's how you take the amazing shot, you know, the right way, knowing the setting, the time, the lighting. That's how you take the right shot. And that's why I asked those guys, like, hey, what do you do in this situation? You know, and they're very, very knowledgeable. You know, so shout out to David Armando. You guys are awesome.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of shout outs, but
it's
hey,
okay.
I gotta give props where they're due.
I'm just gonna do that with my own hands.
Yeah,
because that deserves a.
I really do. Like, as you grow into something and you develop respect for others who do really well at it, you're like,
right.
Damn, like this.
True.
They went through this, what I'm going through, like, that's awesome. You know, so I always give props where they're due. Like,
I'm gonna check my camera real quick.
Yeah, check your camera.
It's still recording. I've done goofs like that before.
Watch it hasn't been recording at all.
I'd have to cry. You know what I did? I didn't plug it in.
Has it been recording?
It recorded, but didn't record everything. It died on me.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
How far did we get?
I don't know.
How far was your computer charged? I mean, your phone.
It was pretty. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
That's all right, dude. That just means that we'll have to do a second podcast at some point.
I got the audio.
Nice. Oh, the audio's still going?
Yeah, the audio's still
going.
going.
The audio's important. Yeah. I think that's great.
I do too. I think it's important as well.
I'm glad that the audio is still rolling.
Yeah,
so.
me too.
Yes, we didn't lose it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like.
Yes. Listen, everybody, if you've been this far, that's awesome. And I really appreciate you taking a listen and chiming in. That's really important. So it's for both of us, you know. Right. And hopefully you learned a thing or two. I'm not perfect, and there's a lot that I need to work on. But if you did, that's awesome. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, you can always message one of us. And if I was wrong on gravity, please correct me. But that's pretty much what I know. So there you have it. But yeah, I can't believe we've been doing this podcast for over an hour.
Yep.
That's cool, dude.
Over an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty chill.
So what's the process like after you do the podcast? Do you like automatically put this on the podcast? Or do you have to go through a process of editing?
Hold on. It started.
There we go.
Let me see.
The video, I think the video is starting again, guys. Ladies and gents, if you made it this far. If you didn't, that's okay. Still love you.
Improvise, right?
Yeah.
Overcome, learn, and adapt.
Yep, so there you have it. And if my voice sounds good, you think I should start doing a podcast, please let me know, and I can definitely do that.
A long time, actually.
It recorded for a long time? Nice.
An hour and 2 minutes.
Dude, that's actually quite impressive.
Shit. Yeah.
Heck yeah. The phone recorded over an hour, so what you guys will see is a long clipped a video.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm rolling now. Oh jeez. We're
Nice.
good though. It was like we've been rolling for an hour and 13 minutes.
Dang,
As far
dude.
as like audio, we didn't start until like an hour and like
Nice.
10 minutes. Like,
Do you clip some of the videos?
I did, but I haven't been doing them lately because like I want to focus more on quality over quantity.
Gotcha.
So when I looked at those clips, they were cool. I won't
Yeah.
lie, but as far as like quality,
Yeah.
I was more worried about how many I put out instead of
For sure.
like attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know, little things that's gonna make the thumbnail stand out in the video, you know, better. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I've been focusing more on the podcast
For sure.
and just I want to get better with editing.
For sure.
You know, like
It's a
clips.
process, yeah.
It is. Everything's a process. But my main focus is kind of like, I mean, overall, I'm trying to find a balance in life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And right now,
Aren't
I've
we
been-
all, bro?
when I started, I went hard, like a whole week. I learned like how to edit the audio and the video into one.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, now how can I find time for those little things? Now that I know how to do it, I gotta put homework into it and study.
That's
you know.
Yep.
That's
You got
probably
it, bro.
The biggest thing. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got it, dude. It, like
Does
I
that
said,
answer your
it's got to be
question?
consistent. Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
That's great. Yeah, keep pushing. You know,
Thank
even
you.
when you don't want to do it, bro. Like, if you have a goal that's intrinsic,
Mm-hmm.
you'll do it. But if it's all extrinsic stuff, you won't.
Mm-hmm.
You really won't stick to it. You know. So it's got to be rooted deep within if you want to keep on pushing. And I think you're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
You know. So just keep pushing. Yeah. If you want, send me a couple clips of our conversations, and I'll put them on like my stories, you know, my social media, so that way they can see like a 30-second clip of what we're talking about, and they're like, oh snap, that sounds cool, and then I'll put the link of the YouTube video, like check out more, you know, here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to do that. I should do that with all my other guests too, because I know
Do it, bro.
I interviewed Brad and he wanted to do like some little clips too, but like I don't know
Yeah.
how to like send him like that's. I probably could, but I
You,
haven't gotten
dude,
to
you
it.
can, dude, you can. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
That
You know, so
fucking-
got you,
that's
bro.
that's a yeah, exactly.
You know,
Anyways,
we're here to help each other grow.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Round of applause for that.
Round of
huh?
applause.
Little cheers.
There we
I
go.
like that.
Yeah, me too.
Can't get enough of it, right?
Me too, bro. But you gotta know that our audience, you know, the attention of focus is very short. You know, it's just the world we live in now. You know, those who really want to get better and those who really like to chime in will listen to this whole podcast. But there's no guarantee. And a lot of people now only want like to see something for like 10, 20 seconds. You know, it's crazy, you know, but I'm hoping that people now will start to look at the attention to detail and focus for a longer period of time. You know, I think that's really important. You want to really learn something, you got to put some time in it. You know, it can't just be like on TikTok. You know, TikTok makes people just watch things for like 30 seconds to a minute tops. That's too long for them. They just keep swiping. You seen it?
I have.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm on.
That-
Yeah, I like reels.
that's
Reels are
just
cool.
yeah, reels are cool, you know. I know that because I make reels, you
Do
know.
you?
Yeah, like
Good.
for the videography, I make reels so that way people
do?
can see like
Yeah.
what I do.
Pretty sweet. I don't know how to make those.
They're tough.
Have you put a lot of time into like studying?
Yeah,
Into
yeah.
how to make reels?
I definitely been. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to doing in the future, as a photographer and videographer. You know, I want to show the people like the art that I produce. You know, but I don't want it to be too long. You know, I want to make sure that it's there. That way, because another thing that I've been wanting to do is sell prints. Like that picture you saw at Garden of the Gods was like one of many that I'm going to be doing in the
beautiful.
future. Thank you. And then I'm going to start selling prints. You know, so they can go to my website. They can purchase a print for however big they want. They can put it at their house or somewhere. You know, something beautiful.
Exactly.
I think that's cool. You know
It
what I
is
mean?
cool.
Like,
It's awesome.
it just creates like life into someone's home. You know, or at a museum or at work, anywhere. You know what I mean? And that's gonna get done. So I'm excited about that.
What what kind of inspiration do you look at it besides David Goggins, anyone else?
Oh, man, that's a great question.
Thank you.
That honestly is a great question. Out of all of them, I like that the most because people are what keep us going. There's so many people who are inspiring in this world, and I look up to so many people, bro. Like every single person on this earth has something of importance that they bring to this world. If you really take the time to get to know somebody, they will have something great in their life that you can take from them, like that you can learn. Besides David Goggins, dude, there's another guy who's very skeptical, but I love him. You know why? Because he pushes, and it's Andrew Tate,
Andrew Tate.
the top G.
Yeah.
You know who he is?
I do. He just got arrested in Romania. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well, I know you explained the story about how his the girl that was at his house, the boyfriend was mad that she was there, and so he called the SWAT on their house, so they raided it. So that's how it happened. But I thought it happened like a while back.
Is that what this? I'm hearing like. So where do the sexual assault charges come from, or like the human trafficking?
Yeah, that's what he said. He actually called and said that they're doing human trafficking and they kidnapped my girl, and that's how it all came out.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't tell you. I don't look at any of that.
Yeah, that's how it came out.
He is a very rambunctious individual, though. I know what you're saying. He has a different perspective of things, but he also like talks about, I mean, like having power over women.
Oh, misogynistic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole misogynistic look.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, he is
yeah. So that's the thing about people is you don't have to
but
agree
he's
with
doing
everything
that
they say.
for like social media, and like that's
Might
why
be.
he's like number
Yeah.
5 on Google
He
when
could
you
be.
look up individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense. It kind of, if that's what fits the algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. You figure out the algorithm. And like I was saying, you don't have to agree with everything somebody's saying. Like I take bits and pieces from what people say. Like sometimes I don't agree with what they say, but sometimes they say a good thing. Like it's like liking an artist that your favorite singer. You may not like all the songs on the album. There'd be a couple bangers, and you're like, heck yeah. You don't have to like the whole thing.
Or like artists get arrested for some crazy allegations. Like,
Oh yeah.
Let's just kind of hypothetically, well, not hypothetically, but Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
As far as like,
Dude, a lot of people love Michael Jackson
and a lot of people
because he was
love,
talented.
but then you gotta like separate like the art from the
person.
musician. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
which is
guess
tough.
There's a documentary that came out like 2019 about all the stories against Michael Jackson.
I mean, look at R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, what happened with him?
He was dating, or he like had like a cult, right? Where he was basically like capturing women and keeping them in his household, and they couldn't get a hold of the family.
Oh.
There's a huge documentary on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and
dude, Remix to Ignition though, like
I know,
pretty-
dude, and it
pretty
sucks, man,
fire.
because I liked all his music.
R. Kelly.
Like like you were saying, you got to separate those two, the artist and the person. Like his music, but as a person, like there's a reason why he's serving time in jail for a while. He wasn't really doing the right thing ethically.
You're right.
So yeah, but that's a whole nother topic, which is crazy.
It is. Let's go back to
Yeah, so
inspiration.
So that I was saying him because what he likes to do is he pushes to try to be successful. Top G, and that's why he says he's top G, because he tries to do all those things. Like he pushes to be one step ahead. Like a chess match. I love chess, so I'm always trying to think ahead. And that's how I move through life. Before I make those decisions, I plan ahead. What do I need to do, in order to be at this outcome?
So you were speaking on, when you say plan ahead, you were speaking on earlier. Like you did plan ahead. You planned that moment to capture Guardian of the Gods at that day you went beforehand and looked for the exact moment.
That's
So
correct.
speak a little bit about that. How does that process look? Like why did you do it? Why did you do it like that?
That's another good question, bro. You're on fire with these
Dog.
questions, man.
Right on.
You really are. But so I love that question because the thing about it is like you have to be prepared for anything. You know what I mean? Like, so the reason why I went the day before because I wanted to see where I was going to take the photo. You know, because I want to make sure that I'm ready. Once I get there, set up the tripod,
Did
put
you
the camera
think
on.
about which lens you were going to use? Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
the only lens you have?
Oh, I have quite a few others.
May I ask how much you spent on that lens and the other lenses?
Yes, this lens right here, the 24 to 70 millimeter lens, was over $2,000.
Right on.
Yeah. The other one, the 70 to 200 millimeter lens, which is incredible, which is you can get really close. That one right there was pretty much almost the same. I think $3,000.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Right. Fire. Right.
Oh, wow.
All the money go in the fire. Just kidding.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
it's you pay for what you get.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like obviously, like the camera gear is gonna give me quality shots, but it's who's behind the camera. You know, it's the process. Like people think that you could just take a photo and boom, you're a photographer. No, like there's so many settings in here,
I know,
like the
dude.
ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed. Like everything has to be dialed in right. Without it, it's not gonna look good.
Sheesh. Can you help me dial this in?
I got you, bro.
Yeah? Right on.
We'll do a couple lessons after this.
Right on.
So yeah, you had to be prepared. You know, I already set up the whole setting before I even got out of the car. You know, I made sure that everything was ready. So once I'm there, I don't even have to change the settings. I tweak and dial a couple things, but it's pretty much in the base of what I wanted. You know, so that's pretty much how I go through my photography style. You know, I make sure I get ready. Like if I'm gonna
Was
do
this the day before?
this is the day before. I look up the weather. You know, checking what the weather is gonna be like.
Do you have anything like that planned in the future, like coming soon? Like
Oh, yeah.
next week?
Yes. So I have a drone
What are
that's
you doing
coming in.
next week? Yeah, you got a drone.
I have a drone that's coming
Shit,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's.
dog, there's gonna be some fire coming out with that.
I hope so. It's called
Oh, he's like, I hope so.
it's called a DJI Mavic 3 Classic.
Oh, dog, fire. That's all I
Yeah,
hear.
dude, and the image quality is amazing. So I'm looking to take amazing photos, and it's 5K. It's not 4K, it's 5K, which is the next highest
What can you
resolution.
do with the drone?
Dude, a lot.
How is that different from like working with a camera?
Well, it just, you know, obviously you get aerial view, you know what I mean? So you can get layers of the mountains, you know, like you can get to places that you can't physically walk to, you know? So when I go hiking and I do landscape photography, I'm gonna take this and the drone at the same time, so I'll get two different perspectives. You know, if you're gonna do real estate, you know, like you want to help a real estate agent sell a house, I could definitely do an aerial view of a house. You know, and then this camera I could go inside and do the interior while I could do the exterior with the drone. Yeah, there's so many ways to it, you know. Commercial, which is awesome. Yeah, dude, it's limitless. That's how I look at it.
You're right.
You know,
That's pretty sick, dude.
yeah. So
That's pretty
it's
sick.
gonna be dope, dude. I'm actually really excited,
I'm
man.
excited for you. How does that differ from this one?
So the megapixels is really important to look at. Like, so the camera body itself is what takes in the photos. So like this megapixels is 45 megapixels, which is quite insane.
45?
45. Which, like I was telling you earlier when we were talking to you and your buddy, you can take a big photo and you know, make it as big as you want without losing any resolution. You know, if you were to do it with like a 12 megapixel camera or 20, it wouldn't look the same. It will lose some resolution.
How can I figure out how many megapixels are in this?
I would look it up on your manual guide, or you could just Google it, you know, how many megapixels. It might be around 15 megapixels, 15 to 20, which is actually solid.
Solid.
But for my goal for landscape, I needed something bigger so I can make bigger prints. That's why I did it for me. But something around like 25, 30 megapixels is really good.
My sister just asked me. She's like, "Can you do her 6 month like baby pictures?" And I'm thinking I just got this. I'm like, I'm not a photographer, but I mean, I'm kind of like getting into it. But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
you might have to go to a pro, sis. Sorry.
I got you. I got you, sis. Just
guy.
let me know.
Seriously.
I got you. We'll set it up. And I've done baby photos before, and they're really fun. I've already done 2, and they came out really good. So I got some experience. So I got you, sis. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I would love to, but
I never thought I'd do babies, but it just turns out that people wanted to get it done.
they're just moments,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people want moments captured.
Exactly.
Like you're saying. So
Yeah.
it's like, I like it. I like the thought. I appreciate it. That makes me feel good. That makes me want to keep because I'm gonna go after this. I wanted to go take some photos. We'll see. We'll see if my friend wanted to go.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you don't know until you actually put it into action.
You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it.
You just gotta do it, dude. Like when I first got my first camera, which is the T Rebel 7, which your buddy has, I just went out and took photos, and I was like,
How long ago did you get that T Rebel 7?
I got it a year ago.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
your
dude,
First
so
ever
I'm-
camera you got?
First ever, first ever digital camera.
Sick.
And then the next thing I thought, you know what? I'm actually pretty decent at this.
Yeah.
I'm actually taking a lot of good photos. I'm decent. I'm gonna move up to a professional camera, which was the Canon EOS 90D.
Is that what this guy is?
This is a different one. So the next camera is the Canon EOS 90D, which is a professional camera. But it wasn't taking the right shutter speed that I wanted or the megapixels, which is it's still really a good camera, dude. And it still records 4K, which is incredible. So, but I wanted to go to the next level. So that's when I purchased this Canon R5, which is insane. It's probably, in my opinion, the best best camera in the market. So that's why I went that route, because I knew I was ready for that next level. Because I put the work in. So that's where I'm at now.
I like that, dude. I
Yeah.
like to hear that. Holy shit. That's
Yeah, dude,
inspiring.
I've been pushing, bro. You know what I mean? Like you could do anything. I'll always say that you could do anything, dude. You just gotta find how to do it, and push every single day. I'll probably be doing that the rest of my life. For as long as I'm on this planet, that's what I'll be doing. I'll push to be better. I love it. I love the process, and I'll never stop. It's kind of.
What do you think about Demar? What's his last name?
Who is it?
The guy who had that heart attack.
Oh, I forgot his name, but anyways,
Something?
yeah, that's really unfortunate what happened. It just goes to show, like, even if you're the best athlete in the world, you're the healthiest, like, anything can happen. And unfortunately, when he got hit, when the other guy hit his chest, it hit him at the rhythm where it's at the T wave. So your heartbeat's going through a rhythm. And then once it was at the T wave, he hit him at the right time where his heart just, went out.
I know a thing or two about the T wave.
Yeah. So that's like going back at baseline and then going back. And so that's really unfortunate. And it was so rare that it happened. Like, poor guy, you know what I mean? And it can happen to anybody, dude.
Good. That's scary.
The heart's the driver.
It is.
The heart is
Little
the driver,
beating
bro.
factor.
It
I
is
love
the
the science behind everything, though. That's one thing I liked about school with EMT school.
Yeah.
We got in depth a little bit about anatomy and physiology.
Oh, dude, I love it. That's why I went to school for it, bro.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
was curious about how the body works.
Exactly. Once you start learning about it, it's like, what does everything do?
You get more curiosity to how it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane, bro. It's insane. Like, dude, I could talk to you about anatomy, physiology.
Yeah. Tell
For
me about
another
the
hour,
heart.
bro.
So just kind of give me a little refresher about the heart. I mean, you got your SA node, you got your right atrium, you got your left atrium.
You got your AV node, yeah.
Yeah, you got your ventricles. So
Mm-hmm.
the SA node fires. It beats the right atrium, or which one? The blood's coming from the superior vena cava.
Yeah.
And then enters through the top, right? Or
Yeah,
the bottom?
so the oxygenated blood comes from the left side of the heart,
The left
and the
side of the heart.
deoxygenated blood comes from the right.
Okay.
So the oxygenated blood comes obviously when you take your first breath. It's going into your lungs and it's going through a process where it's going through the capillaries, and then the deoxygenated blood is when the carbon dioxide is a byproduct being extracted from our blood after being used, and then goes to the lungs and then out our breath. It's very complicated, dude.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and
A lot of science.
yeah, it is. And if you notice, like if you have a lower heart rate, then that's pretty much a good thing, because your stroke volume is it's well developed with your heart muscle. Your heart's a muscle. People forget that. You have to train it. And people like athletes, like runners, their heart rates are typically around like 45, sometimes lower to 54, because they have a higher stroke volume. They can pull more blood in, more blood out efficiently. More like someone who's not really as healthy, their heart rate's a little bit higher. They're upper 80s because their heart's pumping so fast.
Yeah.
Right? They're not really getting sufficient oxygen flow running through their body. So there's a difference. So are you checking your heart rate?
Yeah, it makes me want to check my heart rate real quick.
Yeah, see, dude, mine, let's see what mine is. My resting rate right now is 50 beats per minute. Yeah, so I used to do that in exercise physiology. We used to count to 15 seconds and then times it by 4. That's how you find the resting rate. So I don't know what yours is. I'm assuming it's pretty low too. It's probably around 60, 70. Yeah.
14 times 4, what is that?
That's pretty low.
Is it?
Yeah.
14 times 4? What is 14
That's
times?
56.
Is it? Okay, cool. Stroke volume's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you want to be at. You want that's the sweet spot.
Sweet. Little sweet spot.
Yeah, so people forget about the heart, and think about this too, is in America, in our country, what the most leading cause of death is?
Heart attacks, right?
Yeah, coronary heart disease, CHD.
CHD.
And that happens because we eat too much and we don't move often. Those are two of the factors. And if we were to eat less or eat the right stuff and to move more, that would lower so fast. But we don't, you know what I mean? We live in this crazy world where commercialized food is always being commercial to us, like talk about Wendy's, etc. The plates that we eat are so huge. Like, we shouldn't be eating that much. Granted, we're not even walking. Some people do their 9 to 5, go home and chill all day, watch TV. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with, having spare time watching TV, relaxing. But you got to move. And you got to move often. The biggest thing is movement is medicine. I learned that, and that is key. Movement's medicine. That's the best medicine you can have for yourself.
That's a good point of view, dude.
There's no other medicine better for you than movement. I promise you.
Dude.
I promise you. Yeah.
I like the feeling I get when I'm active too. Like, I went to the practice I went and trained this morning. It was good. Afterwards, I felt good. You know what I'm saying? I was just flowing and moving, and that's just what it was. I was moving. It's
the best, man.
And it's like breaking a sweat too. Your body's like adapting to it. And today I noticed my breathing was controlled, so that was pretty cool. But it's all about consistency too. So
it is, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I love exercise. Always have. It's always been a great coping skill.
Me too.
It's always been a great way to push yourself mentally and physically. It's just, when you work out, you feel good, and then you also look good. It comes with it too. You know what I mean? It creates confidence within, and that's important. You want people to be confident. When you're confident, you make confident decisions. You know what I mean? It's just a giant, awesome circle of life. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I like exercise. and why I like helping people exercise, because I know the feeling. I don't want to teach people like how to do it. Like a lot of people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, how do I get healthy? What do I need to do?" Like I like helping someone guide them through, like kind of like a therapist. Like therapists, what they do is they listen to someone speak, and they listen to their problems and issues, what's going on. They're not telling them what to do. They're painting like a map, saying like, maybe you should head here, maybe there, whatever they do. That's pretty much what I do, like in the physical fitness realm. Like maybe you should do this type of volume instead of that, etc. Like it just depends on the goal. You know what I mean? You want to listen to the main primary goal. If this person doesn't want to do it, then they don't want to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much why I like getting into that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. What time is it?
It is 6:52.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. We'll end it off right here.
Yeah. Let's
kind of little part 2 in the future, huh?
Let's do a part 2, man. It was an honor being on the podcast.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate it. This has been the Ambitious Riders Podcast.
Woo! Yes.
And you have been watching. No, I kind of should have said that at the beginning. Anyways, no, I have my guest right here. Mitchell Takes Moments.
Yes.
He is capturing some of the best moments you are seeing in Pueblo, Colorado.
Appreciate that, bro.
You deserve it. It's been great. Yeah, yes. I enjoy seeing that. I like pictures. I like photography. I've always been a fan of it. That's why I started getting into it more. So shout out to my father, my dad, for getting me a camera.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's so sweet. Cool, bro. Yeah, dude. And thank you for having me on here. Make sure you give him a follow too. This has been awesome.
Subscribe. I forgot to put this on my story before I took a video.
So all good. The podcast itself will tell the story.
It will.
You know what I mean? So
I want to take something after though, and then post it on my story and be like, "Hey guys, stay tuned and subscribe." I want more people to subscribe. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. I know you guys, we listen to a lot of good content for sure. So hopefully you guys tuned in. If you made it this far, like, amazing. Thank you so much for listening, giving your time of day. We know how important your time is.
We know. I know.
And he knows.
This guy. Yeah. Trust me. Life happens. I know.
Yes.
I know, but everybody's been so supportive.
Reach out, leave a comment if you have any other questions.
Book this guy for photo shoot.
Yeah. Hit me up for photo shoots. I'll be looking to do a lot now with this awesome camera. So if you want sharp, good quality photos, I got you.
Hands down. Episode, I don't know. Just
episode, I don't know. That's what you should call it.
I should. If you're tuning in this far, then this has been again, I'm going to repeat everything. The Ambitious Riders Podcast.
Yes.
And just tune in for next time. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Yes, sir. Thank you.